He thought was dead until Senator Jen Day of Omaha brought it back to life in the Unicam. It's the federal summer food assistance program for kids.
Our Bella Caracta joins us in the studio to update us on the progress of the bill. Bella?
John, Aaron, Governor Jim Pillen rejected opting in for the $18 million in federal funding for 2024 Summer EBT food assistance for kids. It's a program that stems from aid made available during the COVID-19 pandemic. Even though Governor Pillen rejected the money for Nebraska, there's another way some state senators are hoping to get it.
Loaves and Fishes Act, LB 952.
LB 952 would require the Department of Health and Human Services to opt in for the $18 million federal dollars to feed kids while school is out. The program gives $40 per eligible child a month, with more than an estimated 150,000 kids who would benefit.
Food is more expensive than ever, and it's squeezing low-income Nebraska residents the hardest.
Carrie Smith of Omaha is a long-term caregiver and single mother of a 14-year-old. Her son qualifies for free meals during the school year.
The summer months are the hardest because we have to make do without that resource of school meals.
The hearing brought diverse perspectives.
In light of our commitment to the right to life of every person, we believe all people also have basic rights to material and spiritual support, including the right to food, which are required to sustain life.
Some perspectives transcend party lines. The bill is currently sponsored by 15 Democrats and 4 Republicans. At the Health and Human Services Committee hearing, there was 0 opposition. Of those who submitted their opinions online, 153 were for the act and 4 were against it, 1 in a neutral capacity.
To see a state like ours, one of the nation's leading agricultural states, teetering so close to the bottom in food insecurity, signifies a failure in achieving a common objective that I know everyone on this committee shares.
Senator Jen Day says she's confident that if passed, the USDA would waive the deadline Pillen skipped and allow the state to opt in. Now, if this does pass through the legislature, the governor could still veto it. 30 state senators would be needed to override that veto. Governor Pillen suggests that instead of Summer EBT, families could use the Summer Food Service Program, which provides food at various sites during the summer in person. On your side in the studio, Bella Caracta, 6 News.